Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. And I want to say a Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for your likes. And I want to appreciate you all. Okay, you 200 subscribers of mine. Okay, today I want to teach us how to make a circle blouse with front zipper or a cape blouse with front zipper. And I'll be using this plain and pattern fabric. I'll use the plain to make a pencil skirt to rock this blouse with. Okay, so the length of my blouse is 27 inches plus 2 inches seam allowance for the hemming, and that would be 29 inches. Now my fabric is folded into two and I'm using the entire length of the fabric. Okay, so the fabric is by 45. Okay, so I'll be using the entire 45. I'll just fold it over into two. Okay, and I'll have around 22 and a half. Then I'm using just 2 yards of fabric. Okay, so I'll cut out 29 inches from the top to 29 inches. I'll cut that out, and that would be for for either the front or the back pattern. Okay, so I'll now get the remaining fabric, fold it back into two. Okay, then you either place your other pattern, you just make sure that the fabric is folded properly so that everything aligns. Is very important. Very important. I always say it in all my videos. So you either place this already cut out front pattern on the remaining fabric to just trace exactly the same thing out, or you take that out and repeat the same process you did for the first one. So whichever one is easier for you. So right now I'm just taking the same 29 inches from the shoulder line. Okay, and then I'll connect that into a straight line both ways. I still have my pattern. Okay, so I'm cutting out the same thing for the front and the back. Now for you to determine the width of the fabric, remember I folded by the entire width of the fabric, which is by 45. So for you to know the width you fold with, it depends on the length of your sleeve. Now this is a circle blouse. Okay, so as the sleeve is cut together, and as you're drafting, you are cutting the sleeve together. Okay, so to get that measurement, you measure from the nape of your neck to wherever you want the sleeve to be. Now for this particular tutorial, I just have 22.5 inches, so I'll make do with 22.5, probably 21, because I'll be adding 1 inch for zipper allowance. Like I said, this blouse will have a front zipper. Now from the top, for the shoulder, I'm measuring my half length. Now for this client, is 19 inches, is a plus size client, so I'm working with 19 inches for her half length or the waistline. Okay, so you need your shoulder measurement, your waist measurement, your waist circumference, the half length, the hip circumference, and that is just that. You really might not need the bust measurement, but if you want it really fitted around the bust area, you just have to take your bust measurement and add maybe 1 inch for ease. Right, okay, so the next thing to do is to measure my shoulder measurement. Now the shoulder is 16 inches divided by 2 would give us 8 inches. Okay, so you mark your 8 inches. Now, but before that, remember that our blouse. Okay, so you just measure, like I said, from the nape of your neck to wherever you want the sleeve. Okay, so you can see that 22 is still okay. All right, so that is to determine the width of fabric to fold. Now remember, like I said, our blouse has a front zipper, so from the center front I'll be marking 1 inch from the center front, and that would create the zip allowance. Okay, so from the center front you mark it on the shoulder line and on the half length, just to enable us get a straight line across that area. So that would serve as our seam allowance. Okay, so if you're working with materials that are different from Ankara, that have longer lengths, okay, you can walk around it. Or if you have more than 3 yards, you can decide to use the other side of the fabric, whichever way to get your desired sleeve length. But this is a plain and pattern fabric, and it's just 2 yards for the pattern and 2 yards for the plain. So I'm making do with what I have. All right, so from that zip allowance, okay, you're going to measure the shoulder measurement. Okay, so the shoulder is 16 divided by 2 gives me 8 inches. Now for the neck, the width, I'm using 4 inches for the width and 4 inches for the depth, and this is for the front neckline. Okay, so 4 inches neck width and 4 inches neck depth. So now for the back, I'll be using 1 or 1.5 inches for the depth. Now this is dependent on the size of your client. Like I said, this is a plus size client, so you can set to do 3x3 and 3x1 depending on your size and your preference. Okay, so that is that for the neckline. Now from the shoulder point, you want to do your shoulder slope, and in this case you can do 2 inches, but I want to stick with 1 inch because by the time I extend the shoulder slope, okay, to still get to that 2 inches. All right, so like I said, I won't stick to 1 inch as my shoulder slope. So I'll mark my 1 inch, then connect it all the way down to the end of the fabric. So even if you do it with this method, you see that you still have about 2 inches off as the shoulder slope, so you can ignore coming down from 2 inches. All right, so that being settled, the next thing to do is to start imputing your measurements. So on the half length, which is the waistline, I'm marking quarter of the waist measurement plus 2 inches seam allowance. Okay, so the seam allowance doesn't even matter, you don't need to add seam allowance to it, but I'm just doing this for those of us that would want to ask where is the allowance. You can decide to mark the allowance, then when you are joining, you just join on the exact measurement, on the exact waist measurement. Now on the hem of the dress, I will be marking quarter of my hip measurement. So that's quarter of my hip plus the allowance. Okay, like I said, you don't even need the allowance, and I'm just adding this because people would ask me where is the seam allowance. So when you are now sewing, you would realize you don't need the seam allowance. Okay, so I'll connect the waist to the hip. Okay, then that'll be it. But then we need the shaping for the armhole, okay, where the arm would pass through. So it depends on how wide you want it. Me, I'll measure the under bust length, or you can do your bust point. Okay, so I'm measuring the under bust length. Okay, so that's the under bust length, right? So that would give us a guide on how to shape our dress. Okay, so I'm just extending that waist measurement up to the under bust line. Now we can now shape our dress. Okay, so from the hip line or the hem of the dress, you come up by 2 inches, and remember we already added 2 inches for our folding allowance or the hemming allowance, so you just come up from 2 inches. Then from the side, okay, from the other side, you start coming in with a curve, okay, to meet that 2 inches mark you came up from the hip line. Just come in with a gentle curve, okay, to curve it down. Now remember, just for a normal blouse, okay, once you're done cutting and you want to shape the hemline, you just go up by 2 inches and connect, just like I'm doing with my curve ruler. Okay, just the normal way we shape the hem of our blouse. So you just do the same thing here, but then take it up to the sides just to shape it to give us that bat wing look, okay. So at this on at this point is where we'll just sew from that point down. Remember, you sew on the front side on the main fabric, okay. So we cut it out. Okay, so gently follow that curve we made, then cut the neckline for the back first. We're going to be using this front piece as pattern to cut the back. Okay, so I'm cutting through the shoulder slope. All right, so the front pattern is ready. So easy, like you can cut this within 15 minutes, you're done. Now, because we want to cut the back and we're using this front as a pattern for the back, we'll just fold in the zip allowance, because remember the zipper is going to be in front, so we wouldn't be having a zip at the back. So we'll just fold in the zip allowance, okay. Just fold it in with your pin, or you can just run your pressing iron through it so that it will just slap. Then you can bring it out after cutting the back pattern. Okay guys, so pin, yeah, just basically pin it down so that it doesn't move around and give you false readings or false measurements. Okay, we're all right, so this is the back pattern, and I'll just fold it exactly the same way I did for the front. Then place my already cut out front pattern on it. This is so easy guys, like I enjoyed making this blouse. Okay, so just place it on it and just make sure that everywhere is properly aligned. The center front matches the center back, and the sides, the neckline, the shoulder slope, everything is matching. Okay, once you ensure that all your sides are matching, you just trim exactly the same thing. Okay, so you can see my center front and the center back, they are properly aligned. Okay, I'm still adjusting, so that everything is in order. Okay, then we cut it out. Okay, so while cutting, I always advise you place your hands on the fabric, your hand on your fabric, just to stabilize it so it's not moving around. Okay, so you can see that my hand is placed on the fabric. Whichever area I'm coming to, I move my hand to that part to just hold it down. Okay, you can also pin your fabric just so it doesn't move around, but I prefer to do this, it works for me. So I cut through the neckline. Okay, so that's it for the back. It's so easy, you don't need to start cutting any other place. So now I'm just trimming the sides to just make sure that everything is aligning properly. Okay, so I can now take out the zip allowance we have on the front pattern, then take away the back. Okay, so we'll take out the back pattern, then get back to the front. Here we can now trim out the front neckline. Sorry guys, so cut out the front neckline, then you notch your zip allowance, very important, so that you know where your zip is supposed to be placed. You also notch it on the lower part, then you slash through. Okay guys, so that's it. So you're done cutting the key blouse or the circle blouse. Like, it's super easy. So you can now pipe your neckline with your barriers, and also pipe the edges with a bias. Okay, you can pipe it out a bias, or you can fold it in, you know. So a bias is easy, but for me, I'm going to turn all of those places with my lining. I'll turn the neckline, the sides, the zip allowance, then I'll bring it out from the shoulder point. Okay, the same thing. Okay, that's the same thing I'll be doing to the back. Use my lining to turn it round, the neckline, the sides, the hem, bring it out from the shoulder, then stitch the lining to the fabric. Okay, then overlock the edges of the shoulder point. It's super easy, guys. So thank Okay, beautiful people, so this is the outcome of the cape blouse we just made, and it looks so beautiful. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and give it a very good press, iron the neckline, all the sides, just to make sure that everything is trim and proper. So you can see the inside. I have already lined the blouse, okay, fully lined and so clean on the inside. Remember, I told us to turn the sides of your blouse, your lining. Okay, so you turn the neckline, the sides, you can see the hemline, the zipper area, the hem, everywhere is cleanly finished. Just turn it round, you can see the zipper area. Okay, so the neckline, everywhere, so you just pull everything from the shoulder line, then you overlock it round. On the other side, the same thing, you can see the shoulder seam. I overlocked it, so the blouse is so nice, like it came out so nice. Okay, so I'm turning it in again, so you can see everything is cleanly finished. Okay, you don't need to you won't spend more than 45 minutes cutting and sewing, and it's so easy. So remember, you're making your stitch on the front pattern. Okay, you're making your stitch on the right side of the fabric. Just place the two fabrics together, the front and the back. After attaching your zipper, then you take in your measurements. Okay, on the right side of the fabric, not on the inside, so that way you have the bat swing, the way it's flowing that way. Okay, so give it a nice press, a very good press. You can steam press like I'm doing. Okay, just so that everything looks nice. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, share my video, subscribe to my channel, and I want to say a Merry Christmas to you, all my subscribers. God be with us all, and may God lead us all through year 2020. I love you guys. Thank you so very much. This is Learn to Sew with Noni. Bye.